every time you scare me. And I fucking love it every time you do.
That drag, his drag, that drag, their drag, your drag, our drag, my drag, it's all drag. My drag is valid. My drag is valid too. My drag is valid.
Well, hello there, naughty boys and girls. It is I, Disasterina. Welcome, Landon Cider, to My Drag is Valid! How are you?
I'm great. I'm here just to hear you say that. You're in my phone as Disasterina 20 Eyes NA. Yeah, for sure. I love it.
Perfect. I love being in your phone, by the way.
Any day. Yeah.
Peering out of your phone,
All
looking
the
up
time.
at you.
It's
Hello, I love you so much.
the very unflattering angles of me on the toilet. I'm sure you enjoy that angle the most. Yeah.
They are all flattering angles. You cannot look at Landon Cider without the flattering eyes.
It's very sweet.
Who is Landon Cider?
Landon is a shapeshifter. Just whoever he needs to be for whatever character is performing, really. I even have a chameleon on my arm because I think of myself as like a drag chameleon with a little bit of poking fun at ridiculous masculinity and a whole lot of feminist power.
We need it. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to. I love it when people have these like really thought out backstories and lores to their characters, that they are dedicated to the story all the time and all their performances are through that vision. My brain doesn't work that way, so I just kind of like, I want to do a campy look this time, or I want to do a dark horror. Now I want to be a stalker, but now I'm going to go do Uncle Fester. I get bored easily and I kind of want to do different stuff all the time, so it's fun and it's just the way my creativity is constantly like flipping over and doing different things.
The best makeup out there. I'm not even joking. Maybe talk a little about how you learned how to do that.
Well, it really came from just having an interest in all different kinds of characters to perform. And with that comes what those characters look like. So if it's like an impersonation, I try to really craft how to look like that person. If it's like an actual person in real life that exists, I just kind of pretend like I don't have a face, like a flat canvas, and then paint on what I want to see. So I do a little bit of everything, some realism and some of whatever this is. My newest version of Landon is this kind of super illustrative, colorful.
Mm-hmm. Sort of like a nuclear mask.
Yeah,
It's like neon, and it's super bold.
For sure. I kind of feel like my contours are just painting on a skeleton, like a skull face, with a little bit of nose detailing and some lip detailing, and then all of the facial hair goes on top of that. People who don't know about makeup think that like I'm just doing Halloween makeup, like I just drew on some funny facial hair, but they don't see there's like 5 layers of makeup that goes on my face. So it's a lot.
I think it's super
almost too
obvious.
much.
Well, I'm looking now at your beautiful face, and what I see is it's sort of like a bunch of different kind of styles going on at the same time.
Yeah, it's kind of the evolution of how I've transformed in my makeup throughout the years too, because I started off doing really like male impersonation and wanting to pass like a dude at the bar, and then I got tired of people thinking that I was an actual dude at the bar. So then I thought, no, I want to show like I'm doing drag. So how am I going to do that is paint more vibrant. So I just kind of started bumping it up and landed here.
What do you think of my outfit?
I love it.
My little
Zoom in
hairy
on this
nipple,
little
too.
hairy nipple. It's my favorite part of the outfit. I love it all. I love the detail of your neck corset. I always love your style though.
Thank you.
You're so everything. I love that you change your face every single time. You text me, what colors are you wearing so I can kind of match you? And then look, she did. She came out and put something together and I love it.
Well, the show is all about the guest. It's not about It's not about me. Oops. Talk about it before you
Freudian
slip.
slips.
Sorry about that. It is all about me. Speaking about the makeup, it has to be trashy, and I can't think too much about it.
Yeah.
When we were on Sado Psychiatrist, we had to match the makeup for each different day. The hardest makeup I ever had to do was the same makeup. Now I am free to do whatever the fuck I want, and
Yeah.
that's way more fun for me.
For sure. Like today, painting like this, I don't get to do this at every show either. Like especially brunch, I have to just kind of do common denominator drag, as I call it, for all those intellectuals out there that know math puns. Just kind of basic looks and basic music, what the crowd, what you think a generic crowd would like.
Landon, basic look? I don't think that ever happened. Who's sort of like your major influences?
My influences are just kind of like musical theater and cabaret and that kind of improv style, and the drag queens that I kind of grew up at going to the drag shows to watch. Raja and Chad Michaels and Raven and Morgan McMichaels and Delta Work and local drag legends like Dolly Levi, these incredible drag performers that were doing super elevated mixes and storytelling and theme nights, looking like they're doing Broadway costumes and makeup, and it was just like mind-blowing that someone could do that.
What kind of drag kings do you look out and see and you're like inspired by?
When I first started, I really was looking back at like historical kings, like Stormy DeLarveray, Hetty King, Gladys Bentley, these like really incredible male impersonators that they were called at the time, being these huge stars, living lavish lifestyles, performing in what we now refer to as drag. So the feminist part of me saw these women doing these badass things, but not getting the glory or that we know now as drag queens get. And then now there's amazing kings like Tenderoni. King Molasses is a great king out in DC. Androgen really helped me too with embracing the femininity in my paint as well as in my performances. So I think I just kind of pull a little bit from so many people. There's no place that I don't find inspiration for Landon, really, whether it's an art form or a person or a film or a TV show or a cartoon. He's a little bit of everything that I've ever seen in the world.
That kind of sounds a lot like your mixes and your performances
Yeah.
because it's a little bit of everything, but
yeah.
it's within a theme. I was recently on YouTube and I saw a bunch of your mixes. You know, there's like the dick mix, and then there's the fuck mix, and there's the Jesus mix.
Jesus Christ!
Hey, how's it going?
Jesus, doesn't the Bible say these people are an abomination?
Abomination? Yeah, but you know, it says the exact same thing about this shrimp cocktail.
The videos that you're probably talking about are like the edited videos that I did during the pandemic, but I was busting out performances every week. I was doing Bitch Puddin's show, so it was every Friday. After a minute, I had to start going through my repertoire, so I've been doing these mixes since for the last 10 years, if not longer, some of them.
Okay.
Live on stages, so I just kind of revamped them for a camera. But all those punchlines you see me doing in the camera with another character of myself, it lands on real people in real life shows all the time, and
That's so much fun.
it's really fun. Yeah, if I go to a drag show and it is a all R&B night, or it's an all hip hop night, or it's an all this kind of theme music, I get bored. So like I have my show called Diverse because I try to bring all different kinds of entertainers within the general drag spectrum. For me, I kind of want to have one number, be a little bit of everything, to show not just a music style that the whole audience can find at least one song in my mix that they like, but also that a king can do a lot of different stuff, even if it's just within 5 minutes.
When somebody says, my drag is valid, what does that mean to you, Landon?
Exactly what the words would mean, like broken down. It's just all art is valid, and drag is just an art form. And so however you do your art, it should be seen as art. If you're gonna do your art, awesome, but also know where you kind of like will shine. And if you're not a celebrity impersonator, don't book yourself at a celebrity impersonation show. It's like really not that hard. Find the stage and the venue and the audience that's gonna show you love, and I think it's all valid.
The perfect advice. Now this gets me onto something else. RuPaul did an ill-advised interview when they talk about mixing drag. They were very gatekeeping about it, unfortunately, and the comments that RuPaul made at the time caused some outcry within the queer community and the drag community. What RuPaul was saying was like, oh, drag kings are over here, I don't get it, they're not ironic enough. And then over here, there's the good ones, the queens and everything.
No.
So
I don't know how our drag king's not ironic. Like, if you're a person in power and you're impersonating the people that you have power over, you should be celebrating and loving it. Yeah, there's comedy. Yeah, there's ways to do it. And that's what drag is so great. But like, how are you going to say that's the only version of drag that's valid? And to think that in some way there are drag enthusiasts and drag performers out there that devalue drag king perspective.
I don't know what that is.
Blows my mind that the hypocrisy and the blinders add up to what that is, and to say that it's not valid.
Now, Landon, you wrote an article in the Advocate talking about all this. Can you explain it a little bit?
Sure. I made a post as a response, like on Facebook or something, to that interview, and we have already worked together in the past. So he said, "I love your perspective on this. Would you like to write an op-ed?" And I went, "Yes, please." And he said, "Do it within these words." I went over about 5,000 words. And every time I would make a point that was pointing out the hypocrisy or the misogyny or the sexistic kind of view that was skewing on, I always made sure to give Rue the credit she deserves as an artist, as a drag legend, as the one who paved the way for us to be able to do this for a living. I never, ever take that away from her. And what incredible hard work she did, worked her ass off to get where she is now. It's just unfortunate that through all of that career and this amazing success that you have now and paving the way with this mainstream platform, that you're forgetting all of the other people that were there doing the drag with you, and kings have been there. And when she said kings don't mix, it's like, what do you mean? I'm literally performing full time as a king, mixing with queens every single night on stages.
And those shows are way more interesting than ones that they're kind of like homogenous. The fun shows are the one where it's kind of like you say, it's sort of like a cabaret, or just like all of the queer people can participate.
Yeah, and you have all the people who can identify with that joke or that phrase or the way that you twisted those lyrics in that moment to make this point. Like, there's so many things and viewpoints that you can experience at a drag show that you can leave having learned something. I think the part that really upset me the most about her saying those things wasn't that that's her opinion, because I deal with people with those opinions every single time, is that the level of platform that she had was very divisive in saying that. And that trickles down into a microcosm of how people see stages and treat stages at a local level. So if she has this show that is only this type of drag, only recently celebrating transness, and you still have all these shows and these people that go to drag shows locally who still haven't even reached the point of celebrating transness, to let alone celebrating drag kings. So that's my monologue. Thank you.
Well, that reminds me, Landon, you were on a couple of shows that are renowned for being inclusive.
Yeah.
One of those was Call Me Mother, where you were a judge. What was it like being on that?
When I got the opportunity and I got told I was being asked to come be a permanent judge at a whole season of a drag competition, it was like, finally, a voice on a judging panel, and I could show that, like, just because I do one type of drag to a perspective of people doesn't mean I don't know how to judge other types of drag. Drag is drag. It's just a different version of it, and you can have so much intel and critique and just advice to give an up and coming crew of people. And I love it because it's very drag family oriented, that show is, and it's more about the positivity of a drag family and learning and growing.
It's the kinder, gentler sort of reality TV show.
And we do give them negative critique or like things that we would love to see improve or change about some of the attempts they do. So we're not just blowing smoke up their ass the whole time. We're fucking mean to them. No, I'm just kidding. We beat their asses so hard, we just tear it apart. We spit it out, they cry, and then we smile for the camera. Yeah.
Ooh, that's how you are.
Yeah, Dragula taught me well.
I bet you're a wildcat in the sack.
I can be. Depends on how much you're paying, though. Yeah.
I'll make it rain.
Now I'll do it. Let's get it. Let's do it.
I happen to know that you were on Dragula because I saw you on set.
That's the only way she knew that.
I love what you got going on here, but what about the sea turtles? Look at this stuff over here. It's not even clipped.
It's not clipped, I know. I've been killing them, suffocating by it.
But it was so much fun watching you on Dragula. I mention it because some people who get on these shows, they're all in their head and they're fucking miserable.
That's not too far from my truth, actually. I was very much in my head, and I just had this self-appointed pressure to represent like drag kings, and I knew that I couldn't accurately do that because I only do me. I had a reputation already. I was already a full-time drag performer, so I wasn't relying on the show for a career. I was relying on that exposure to showcase drag kings. So that was my pressure, just to like be the best I can at all times and try not to lose miserably and embarrassingly. That's all. I wanted to stay on as long as I can just to keep showing my art, you know, and luckily I did pretty well.
Landon Cider.
I'm so glad to be here with you to make up for how disastrous my Disasterina interview was on that. It was so
cute.
It was not. You were cute. Your energy was like blowing everyone out of the water, and I was like, my costume did not allow me to stand up, so I was bottomless. I was walking around set in like my chon-chons, and
Well, it was a little dicey for me too, because the day before I called the Boulets and I said, who's going to be on the show so I can, give everybody a funny little joke? I can, riff on Landon and riff on, Dahlia and all this sort of stuff. They wouldn't tell me. So I felt I was a little unprepared when I was up there. And I know the Boulets don't like to do 2 takes. So I'm like, I was sort of, I hope I get this right. I hope I get this right. I hope I get this right.
And you did better than we did. So
Some I did better, but some I didn't do as good.
Oh, that's true. You got
Those
couple.
ones I didn't do as good. I was like,
Priscilla? Was it like Priscilla? I think they had a great
Priscilla
interview
got
with
me,
you.
and
Yeah.
I think Louisiana got me, and fuck. If I would have known they were on the show, I would have got some jokes for them. The crowning. You are
I am crowning.
the Dragula champion. You can't. Ooh. Do we have a wet nap or something?
The most uncomfortable, painful, hardest thing I've ever done in drag is be in drag, corseted, on my first day of my period and having to poop. That combination is the hardest thing that I have to get through. It happens once a month. It's fucking horrible. Go on.
So is that what was happening when you got
As
crowned?
I was being crowned, I was also crowning, yes.
The gloop is going down your face and all this stuff is happening. The real mess is
The
down
real
there.
man, I was bleeding on top of my head, out of my second head. Yeah, it was just happening everywhere.
That reminds me of another situation where you were extremely uncomfortable, and it had something to do with us. In fact,
It was our fault.
I am so sorry. We did a really, really cool short film
Yeah.
called Which One. You were in that, and we did everything in one day. We'll never do this again, by the way.
Yeah.
Bowen and Ave know this. They're having flashbacks right now, and they're like,
PTSD,
"Ah!"
yeah.
But there was like 20 hours
It was a
of a
long
shoot
day.
down at the precinct, and you were in full geesh and full outfit the entire time. You didn't even go to the bathroom.
I didn't even go to the bathroom.
Demons shouldn't be summoned lightly. They don't want to be pulled to the veil for this bullshit. Sorry, girl.
Hold up. No disrespect, but are you a real witch or something?
Yes, I'm a bruja, and I'm telling you, this dark magic is no joke.
So that amulet around your neck isn't just your Burning Man swag.
I'm still healing from the holes in my chest from the duct tape that fucked up my body, but you know, that's okay.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I actually brought this kind of look as kind of resembles kind of my look from
Yeah, it's a bit
from
of
the
an
shoe.
homage.
Yeah, a little bit of homage, just a different color scheme.
What do you think of the final product?
I love it. It was really well done. Like the cinematography in it's beautiful. Just the story, the editing, the campiness. I love it. It was a fun blend of like high camp and like actual bloody horror. I love the cliffhanger. I love the opening credits. Bikini Kill is like such an
Bikini Kill
incredible
fucking
artist.
rocks.
I love Felony's musical like delivery of all of his lines.
And a 13-inch uncut salami.
Everything they say is just so musical. I can just like listen to them talk and deliver lines.
I'm spinning a pretty woman.
It just seems like you are the busiest man in show business. You're over there, you're over there, you're on the ass cam.
I'm back here. Before and
They got
after
back.
filming, yeah. I do.
What's your schedule like? How do you do this?
With just being gig, gagged, and grateful to the universe for keeping me busy. I try to manifest as much as possible, and traveling is my favorite. It's very hard to travel. It's very exhausting. I land in a city at 3 or 4, I go right to the hotel, I start to paint my face, I go to the gig for meet and greet, perform the show. After the show, go back to the hotel, fly out like 8 in the morning next day. It's not a lifestyle that's glamorous. It's presented that way, but very difficult. But entertaining and meeting new audiences across the country and across the globe is so rewarding as an artist, just to tell a story and to have people absorb it and reflect some of that energy back.
That is awesome that your wife is so supportive of everything you do.
Yeah.
She must have been super proud to see you on the cover of Billboard fucking Magazine in the Pride Issue.
It was really fucking cool. She was so proud of me. Yeah, it was one of those like bucket list moments. Yeah, like check off such a huge opportunity and a cool experience. One of the editors of that shoe was really fighting for me to be involved. I guess she had mentioned me and thrown me in out there multiple times over the years. I was actually originally booked to Maren Morris's makeup. I was gonna turn her into an impersonation of Willie Nelson because that's what her and her team had wanted. Wow. So they're like, oh, the editor was like, I know this drag king who can make you into Willie Nelson, so let's go see if he's available. And I got reached out to, so I booked the gig. I took a picture of her, and then I made a face shot of her face, and then I painted Willie Nelson on top of it, looked a lot like him, sent it off to the team. They saw it. They went, wow, she looks just like Willie Nelson. And I said, thank you. And they said, too much like Willie Nelson. You're fired. And then I went, okay. What? We're losing what Maren Morris looks like. And I was like, I thought so too, but this is what you wanted. So I gave you what you wanted, right? And I was like, but can I still be part of the shoot? Because you might want to have a drag king on the cover with all these drag queens too. So you can have like a lesbian, a straight ally, a couple of trans women, you know, like you can have a little bit of everything to celebrate Pride, you know, you're trying to be inclusive. How about me actually being inclusive?
They were like, what are drag kings?
That's another story. Not too far from the truth. I have often heard back from similar opportunities with other major magazines, and the response is, drag kings aren't famous enough to be on the cover of a magazine. And it's like, it's the same cycle that you hear all the time, even at those levels. If I had an ass, I probably not would have gotten the gig, but closed mouths don't get fed. So I fed myself at the cover of Billboard, bitch. Do it again.
If you had all the ducats in the world, you had all the resources, what would you do professionally? What would be your dream project?
If I had all the money in the world, I would do work. I would travel. So that's for one. And I would help out my friends and the typical, you know, pageant queen answers of sharing the wealth. But I've already started to plan ahead and prepare to go back into tattooing whenever my knees don't allow me to perform anymore, which is getting unfortunately closer and closer every show I do.
Get that hydrogen water.
Yeah, just pour
Soak your knees
the
in
hydrogen water in my knees, please.
Hello? Oh, yes. Landon is right here. Oh. It's Satan.
Oh, hey, bitch. What's up? Oh, yeah, I should have told you my dad will be like that. Yeah, but thank you so much for torturing him. He deserves it so much. Kiss. All right, suck you off later. Bye.
Her drag, his drag, that drag, their drag, your drag, our drag, my drag, it's all drag. My drag is valid. My drag is valid too. My drag is valid. My drag is valid too. My drag is valid. My drag is valid too.
You know what would help if you came over and you grabbed my balls.
I can do it. Open up.